and we are now, getting it back to form. So we will be recording and sharing with you the links to the recording. We will not be able to upload it on our channel for some time. Okay, so, and because of the internet connectivity issue, I will not be able to turn my video on today. Please bear with it. Narasimha avatar. Okay, so a quick question answer session. You can just unmute and answer. Okay, so what are the 9 processes of devotional service, and what are the 9 stages? 9 processes of devotional service?
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padsevanam.
Yes.
Atmanivedanam, Dasyam.
Archanam.
Archanam,
Yes.
right.
Archanam, Vandanam. Right? There is a shloka, very famous shloka. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. I think you missed out Sakhyam. Anyway, Haribol. And what are the 9 stages of devotional service? Anybody knows? Nobody knows? At least the first stage. How do we begin? How do we come to Krishna consciousness? What is that one thing that pushes us to Krishna consciousness?
Chanting.
Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya.
No, those are the
Aditya.
5 rasas where we serve the Lord.
Okay,
We serve the Lord in those 5 rasas. What are the 9 stages? The first stage, something that makes you come to Krishna consciousness. Nobody knows. It's Shraddha, faith. Okay, because we have faith in God, we come to Krishna consciousness. And then we, grow that faith, we develop that faith, we strengthen that faith through the remaining 8 stages, and then we reach Krishna Prema, or the highest ultimate stage of Krishna consciousness, where we attain Krishna Prema, the love, unconditional love for Krishna, and we go to his abode, eternal abode, and we start serving him there. Okay. Yes, and yeah, so how did Prahlad spend his time in school, in Gurukul? What did he do? Yes, Kamlesh Prabhuji.
Mataji, he was kind of spreading the goodness with his colleagues, and he was kind of chanting Krishna.
Yes, and then he also gave instructions, right? He transformed all of them into devotees. They were all demons. They were all born to demons. They were all from demoniac families. But then he made all of them into devotees by giving instructions. How old was he when he gave instructions to others?
I think 5 years, Mataji.
Yes, 5 years. Haribol. Yes, so now what is the situation? What is happening at home? He returned from Gurukul, and then what is happening? Anybody?
So he returned from Gurukul. His father asked him, saying that what was the learning, and he actually answered that about devotion, and against which the Hiranyakashipu was very upset with the trainer, saying that what have you taught him? There were Vaishnavas, maybe you taught him. There are Vaishnavas who were coming at the training school, and they have actually influenced Prahlada, and it's because of which he's not learned demonic activities.
Yes. Yeah, very good, Haribol. Now continuing from there. So what happens? So now, can anybody read? I've got heavy cough and cold. So if anybody can read, it'll be helpful. Yes, Ramya Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. When Sanda and Amarka, the sons of Sukracharya, observed that all the students, the sons of the demons, were becoming advanced in Krishna consciousness because of the association of Prahlada Maharaja, they were afraid. They approached the king of the demons and described the situation as it was. When Hiranyakashipu understood the entire situation, he was extremely angry, so much so that his body trembled. Thus, he finally decided to kill his son Prahlada. Hiranyakashipu was by nature very cruel, and feeling insulted, he began hissing like a snake trampled upon by someone's foot. His son Prahlada was peaceful, mild, and gentle. His senses were under control, and he stood before Hiranyakashipu with folded hands. According to Prahlada's age and behavior, he was not to be chastised. Yet, with staring crooked eyes, Hiranyakashipu rebuked him with the following harsh words.
Yes, so Hiranyakashipu at once got very angry. So demons or anybody, even as people in this modern material world, we get very angry when things don't go our way, right? So we start shouting at them, and then we somehow forcefully set up situations so that everybody acts according to our will. We've forgotten the fact that everything and everybody act according to Krishna's will, right? So same thing is happening with Hiranyakashipu as well. He wanted the situation under his control, but it's not happening. Okay, that is why he decides to kill his very own son Prahlad itself. Okay, and then so he starts attempting to kill Prahlad in various ways. Okay, as you see in the picture, he employs all his demoniac servants to kill him. Okay, and but then he doesn't die. Okay, Prahlad doesn't die. He lets in a snake into his room and tries to kill him. Again, Prahlad doesn't die. Okay, the snake doesn't even kill him. Okay, and then because Prahlad considers all the snakes to be what Ananta Shesh, right? The snake, the biggest snake which on which Lord Vishnu lies, right? In the Garbhodaka ocean and Kshirodaksha ocean. And then Hiranyakashipu decides to get an elephant and put Prahlad under the leg of the elephant, foot of the elephant. Still, Prahlad doesn't die because the elephant stops its attempt. Okay, so even after doing so many things to kill him, Prahlad doesn't die. Why? Anybody knows why he doesn't die? How he was rescued all the time?
He was protected by the Lord.
Yeah, he was protected by the Lord, certainly, yes, but how?
Chanting, praying to Lord Krishna.
Chanting, praying. There are in those 9 processes, there is one distinctly for Prahlad. Anybody knows which was the process he was
Atma
following?
Nivedanam.
No, that was Bali Maharaj. Nobody knows? It was Smaranam, remembering. Remembering is the 3rd process. Okay? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So Smaranam is the 3rd process. So 3rd process, remembering the Lord in his mind all the time. Okay, and so every time he was attempted to kill, all he was doing was remembering the Lord. And that's when Krishna came and protected him. Okay? And then, so Hiranyakashipu said, O most impudent, most unintelligent disruptor of the family, O lowest of mankind, you have violated my power to rule you, and therefore you are an obstinate fool. Today I shall send you to the place of Yamaraj. My son Prahlad, you rascal, you know that when I am angry, all the planets of the 3 worlds tremble along with their chief rulers, by whose power has a rascal like you become so impudent that you appear fearless and overstep my power to rule. So this is all about false ego. Okay, Hiranyakashipu is invaded by his own false ego, thinking that he is the Lord and he is lording over the material nature, right? And in the same way, he is lording over his son also. And because his son is not listening to him, he's scolding his son with all these bad words. Okay, and then because his power is now overridden by Prahlad's devotion towards the Lord, his Hiranyakashipu's power is overtaken, and he is not able to tolerate that. Okay. Can anybody read?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Prahlada Maharaja said, "My dear king, the source of my strength, of which you are asking, is also the source of yours. Indeed, the original source of all kinds of strength is one. He is not only your strength or mine, but the only strength for everyone. Without him, no one can get any strength, whether moving or not moving, superior or inferior. Everyone, including Lord Brahma, is controlled by the strength of the Supreme Personality of Godhead." Prahlada Maharaja continued, "My dear father, please give up your demoniac mentality. Do not discriminate in your heart between enemies and friends. Make your mind equipoised towards everyone. Except for the uncontrolled and misguided mind, there is no enemy within this world. When one sees everyone on the platform of equality, one then comes to the position of worshipping the Lord perfectly."
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here, Prahlad is explaining to him what we learnt in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, right, Ekos means Tito Jagat. So with a single fragment of my energy, I pervade this entire universe, Krishna says. Krishna also says, without my orders, even a blade of grass doesn't move. Right? Same thing Krishna is saying here. Prahlad is saying, the source of my energy is the source of your energy as well. Krishna is sitting in our hearts, right, in the form of Paramatma, guiding us, helping us, fulfilling our desires. So if Hiranyakashipu's desires are to be fulfilled, it's again Paramatma who has to fulfill his desires. But the point here is Hiranyakashipu does not even know this is the fact. Okay, he thinks it is his own power, his own will that acts, but it's actually God's will that acts. Okay, and Prahlad also says, give up your demoniac mentality and cleanse your heart. Okay, don't just boss over people, because like him, everybody else is also a jivatma. Everybody else has come to this world again to fulfill or complete their devotional journey and go back to the Lord. That is the ultimate goal, right? Everybody is on the same platform, equal platform. Then why do we discriminate? Why do we boss over each other? It's not going to help anybody. And the enemy, the strongest enemy in for the mankind here today is the uncontrolled and misguided mind. Prahlad is just 5 years old, and just look at his wisdom, right? He got all his wisdom through the Shastras. Narad Muni was narrating the Shastras. So Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu Sangha, devotees. These should be the three principles. Okay. So we have to always go to the Shastras and gain our understanding, or if we don't know anything, if we need answers to any questions, we have to go back to the Shastras, because only Shastras can give us the right answer. Okay. So today, all the bad things happening in this world, the main root cause of it is uncontrolled and misguided mind, right? Everything is happening because of sense gratification. We reach a stage where we want to gratify our senses so much that we don't even think whether it is going to hurt others or not. We don't even think of the consequences. We don't even think what the situation is going to be after we do that particular activity. Yes or no? All we do is, at that moment, we want to satisfy our senses, and we are ready to do anything and everything. So this is the main root cause. Not able to control our mind, not able to tell our mind that this is wrong, this is right. Okay, just going, carried away by just being carried away by the mind. That is the main problem. But this can be stopped unless we bring in Krishna in the center of our thoughts. Okay, so we need to reach the platform of goodness, sattva guna, so that we will consciously discriminate between right and wrong before we perform any activity. Okay, and if we are in that mode of goodness, it's very easy for us to go to the mode of pure goodness, shuddha sattva guna, where we become full-time devotees of the Lord. Okay, yeah, can anybody read?
Mataji,
Yes,
can I read?
Mataji. Sandhya
In the
Mataji,
former
yeah,
time, Hanji Mataji, Hare Krishna. In former times, there were many fools like you who did not conquer the six enemies that steal away the wealth of the body. These fools were very proud, thinking, I have conquered all the enemies in all the 10 directions. But if a person is victorious over the six enemies and is equipoised towards all living entities, for him there are no enemies. Enemies are merely imagined by one in ignorance. Hiranyakashipu replied, "You rascal, you trying to minimize my value as if you were better than me at controlling the senses. This is over intelligent. I can therefore understand that you desire to die at my hands, for this kind of nonsensical talk is indulged in by those about to die." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, who are the 6 enemies Prahlad is talking about over here? Anybody knows? Everybody is tackled by these 6 enemies. It's very difficult to overcome. Who are those? You can raise your hand. I have muted all. Or you can put your answers in the chat. Yes, got one answer. 1 out of the 6 enemies. Ashok Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Please unmute and answer.
काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, अहंकार.
There are 6.
And last.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Okay. So these are the 6 enemies. Kama. Kama is desire and lust. Okay. Krodha, anger. Lobha, greed. Mada. Mada is again lust. Okay. Matsarya. Matsarya is jealousy. Okay. So Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. These are the 6 enemies which all of us are struggling to overcome. This is the main reason we are not able to progress. No, so many people out of those 9 stages of devotion service, no, faith. It starts with Shraddha, faith, Sadhusanga, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti. That is the 4th stage. Anartha Nivritti is cleansing ourselves from all the bad qualities we have. All of us, most of us at least, stop at Anartha Nivritti because it's very difficult to overcome these 6 enemies. Okay, Kama, Krodha, Moha, Lobha, Mada, Matsarya. Okay, that's why we all take a lot of time to reach the next stage, that is called Nishtha, after Anartha Nivritti, because cleansing ourselves is not easy. It requires rigorous chanting. The more rigorously and more chanting you do with quality, that's when we start seeing the results. We start getting cleansed easily. Okay, and so that's what Prahlad is talking about. Hiranyakashipu is invaded by these 6 enemies which he is not able to overcome. Okay, but unless we are cleansed by the path of devotional service, we can vanquish these enemies and get closer and closer to the Lord. Okay, now Hiranyakashipu is again getting angry. You are minimizing my value, he's saying, right? And now he is telling, you are saying I cannot control my senses, but can you control your senses? So that is what Hiranyakashipu is questioning. This happens in today's world also. No, parents are not ready to listen to their children just because their children are younger to them. They think children lack experience. Yes, children lack experience. What experience? Material experience. Spiritual experience carries from you would have carried your spiritual experience from janma and janma and janma, right? We happened to discuss in the last class as well, right? Svalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Where even if you do one bit or one little, little bit of devotion service in this janma, you start from where you stopped in your next janma. So you carry your experience forward. It doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so there is nothing wrong in listening to children if they are talking about devotional service. Okay, can anybody read? Raise your hands, I will unmute you. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. O most unfortunate Prahlada, you have always described a supreme being other than me, a supreme being who's above everything, who's the controller of everyone, and who's all-pervading. But where is he? If he is everywhere, then why is he not present before me in this pillar? Because you're speaking so much nonsense, I shall now sever your head from your body. Now let me see your most worshipable God come to protect you. I want to see it. Being obsessed with anger, Hiranyakashipu, who was very great in bodily strength, thus chastised his exalted devotee son Prahlada with harsh words. Cursing him again and again, Hiranyakashipu took up his sword, got up from his royal throne, and with great anger struck his fist against the column. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So now Hiranyakashipu is concluding. We've reached the conclusion part of the story, okay, where Hiranyakashipu is concluding the conversation. He's inviting his own death, okay, by challenging a pure devotee like Prahlad. What is he challenging him with? Okay, now you're talking so much about your Lord. You're talking so much about the source of power. You're saying that is the source of my power as well. Where is he? So he's questioning, okay. If he's all pervading, he should be present in front of me, but why am I not able to see him? Right? If he's there, he should be in this particular pillar also, right? So because Hiranyakashipu was standing next to a pillar, he says he should be here also, he should be there also, he should be everywhere because he's all pervading, right? And then he provokes Prahlad and the Lord also to be present in front of him. And then what happens after that? Hiranyakashipu takes his sword, and then with his fist, okay, he hits the pillar. He hits the pillar with his fist, and the pillar opens. What happens after the pillar opens? Anybody read? Can anybody read? Yes, Sandhya Mataji.
Then from within the pillar came a fearful sound, which appeared to crack the covering of the universe. Oh, my dear Yudhishthira, this sound reached even the abodes of the demigods like Lord Brahma. And when the demigods heard it, they thought, oh, now our planets are being destroyed. To prove that the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial, in other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, exhibited a wonderful form never before seen. The form was neither that of a man nor that of a lion. Thus, the Lord appeared in his wonderful form in the assembly hall. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. So now the moment the pillar was cracked, it was open, and then the sound came out, and then the form of the Lord comes out. Okay, the moment the sound came out, all the demigods were scared. Okay, they were like, oh, something is going to happen now. This so fearful the sound was, and everybody started trembling. All the planets started trembling. Even Brahma was trembling. Okay, and then they all thought, okay, now we will be destroyed. Okay, because it was so fearful. And then what happened? Why did anybody knows why Narasimha Dev came out of that particular pillar only? He is all pervading. He can come out from any pillar, right? He can come out from anything. He could have come out of a wall. He could have come out from within Hiranyakashipu also. You can put your answers in chat. Why only that particular pillar? There were so many other pillars. He could have come from the main door also. Why only that particular pillar? Yeah, who is this? Sanya Mataji. He pointed to that pillar. Yes, Hari Bol. So just to fulfill the words, or just to make sure the words of his devotees are not wrong, Narasimha Dev came out from that particular pillar. Okay, because both Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad told, no, Prahlad said, yes, he's there in that pillar, he will come out of that pillar. That's when Hiranyakashipu went and hit that pillar, right? So just to make sure his devotees' words are true, Narasimha Dev or the Lord is ready to do anything and everything. Okay, that is the reason Narasimha Dev came out from that particular pillar. Okay, and yeah, so the Lord is ready to do anything and everything. Also, at this point, I would like to happen. Okay, this happened in the US very recently, very recently. This happened. So there was a couple. Okay, they got a child. Both the couples, okay, they were Krishna conscious. They were in fact very pure devotees of the Lord. and definitely devotees give birth to devotees only. So they gave birth to a baby girl, and they brought up her also. They raised her in Krishna consciousness completely. Okay, so even though she used to go downstairs to play with her friends, she used to always chant Krishna's name. Okay, and she was actually a devotee, as in she had fascination towards Narasimha's form. Okay, the baby girl, and she used to play with toys and all with her friends, and feed them Krishna prasadam and then send them back home. So she was a devotee. She was a full-fledged devotee. Okay. One day, what happened? She went downstairs to play with her friends. She was playing with a ball, and the ball went. They were playing, and what happened? The ball went to the main road. Okay, where all the vehicles pass, and she ran behind the ball to catch the ball, but unfortunately a truck came and hit her. So she fell down, and she was bleeding. She was internally bleeding and she was externally bleeding. Okay, and she was bleeding so much that she fell unconscious, and everybody thought she was spot dead. Okay, and then her father was standing from the balcony. He was seeing everything. So the moment this happened, her father ran down to rescue her. Okay, and immediately she was shifted to the hospital in an ambulance. Okay, and then she was shifted to the hospital, and she was admitted there, and then the doctors were examining her ECG and all that. Okay, because everybody thought she was spot dead. And then you know what happened? The doctors came out. Actually, the case was recorded saying it was an accident. Okay, but you know what? The doctors came out, spoke to her father, and asked her, what exactly happened? Explain me what happened. Then her father told, yes, this has happened. A truck came and hit her. And then the doctor was like, why are you making fun? Why are you lying to me? Nothing like that happened. She never met with any accident. I can't even see a blood stain or a blood, a cut or anything on her body. Why are you saying she met with an accident? Her father and everybody around, her friends, everybody were like shocked. Okay, they were like, literally we all saw. I was seeing from the balcony through my eyes, this literally happened. And the doctor was like, no, nothing happened. If you want, you come inside and see. All I can see is, some animal has come and scratched her all over her body. All I can see is scratches. There are so many scratches on her body, but now I cannot see any cut or any bleeding or anything as such. No organ is damaged. Nothing has happened. There are too many scratches. Maybe from one of the scratches, maybe the blood has come out, but otherwise there is nothing major for me to, treat her in an operation theater. That's what the doctor said. And then everybody was shocked. Then the father and the mother of that child were sitting and thinking deeply. They were thinking, how did this happen? Then they realized that the baby girl was obsessed with Narasimha Deva's form. Okay, she was very attracted to Narasimha Deva's form, always thinking about Narasimha Dev. Obviously, when the truck came and hit her, she would still be asking, thinking about Narasimha Dev and asking Narasimha Deva for help, right? So Narasimha Dev has come and rescued her. So all Lord wants is pure devotion. So this I happened to come across on one of the Instagram pages. It's a real incident which happened. Okay, and there are a lot of incidents that happen. There's one more incident. Laddu Gopal's incident, where this happened in Gujarat. Okay, there was see, in Gujarat, what happens? There is a culture. Okay, when the girl gets married, they give Laddu Gopal. The bride gets a Laddu Gopal from her parents, and then she takes him with her when she goes to the husband's house, and then she worships him in their husband's house, right? And then what happened? She brought a Laddu Gopal, kept in her house, and then she was worshipping, and then one fine day she also grew old. She also became a mother-in-law. Okay, her son got married, and her daughter-in-law came home. Okay, and then she became so old. Still, she was continuously worshipping Laddu Gopal. Okay, the crawling form of the Lord. Okay, and then what happened? She was so attached to the deity uh, kept in the puja room that one day what happened, uh, she offers bhog to the Lord and eats. Okay, and she gets to know internally, this is all something with emotions. Okay, vibrations. So she gets to know if the Lord, if that small Laddu Gopal had the food or not. Okay, so that day what happened, she worshipped because she was so intensely into devotion. Okay, that day she offered bhog to the Lord and she came out, sat 10 minutes outside. After 10 minutes, she never got that vibe from the Lord saying that he finished eating. Okay, so she did not go to the altar and open the door. Okay, so she was waiting, and then her daughter-in-law came and asked, okay, can we take the bhog? Everybody at home are hungry, we need to give them food. And then she was like, no, he still didn't eat. And then the daughter-in-law was like, he didn't eat yet? How does she get to know that whether he eats or not? Okay, because the daughter-in-law was not so much into devotion. Okay, so she doesn't understand all this. And then they waited for half an hour. Laddu Gopal did not eat. Okay, so then she was like, no, something is wrong, maybe with the devotional service or something with puja, something is wrong. My Laddu Gopal is not eating what I offer. Then she started crying, she started chanting, okay, requesting him to eat. Then after another half an hour, she got the vibration, okay, now he ate. Now they went, opened the door, took the prasadam, mixed it, and then they started feeding the entire family. Okay, after that she went to the altar again to see how her Laddu Gopal is. The Laddu Gopal got fever. Okay, she could feel that. She just touched the deity and he was warm. Okay, the temperature had increased. She could feel that. Okay, because so intense her devotion was. Ye yata mam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? So how you worship me, I reciprocate the same way. So if you consider me to be a child, I will also respond to you like a child. So that person was also considering Laddu Gopal as one of the persons at home, a child actually. Okay, and he was also reciprocating in the same way. So now she got fever, he got fever, and he was not eating anything. Because he didn't eat, she also stopped eating. Okay, she was fasting, she was not eating anything, not even a sip of water. Okay, she was old, and her daughter-in-law started panicking. She is old and why is she not eating? So she called a doctor and all that. Okay, and then the doctor comes home, checks her out, and then says, okay, you have to eat something. The only problem is if you eat, you will become well. Okay, then that mother-in-law was like, no, my Krishna is not eating, I am also not eating. He's got fever, so how will he be able to eat? Then the doctor was like, what, DT gets fever? Then the mother-in-law was like, yeah, you go to the altar and see yourself. Then he goes into the puja room. Okay, and then the mother-in-law was like, take your stethoscope and put it on my Krishna, check him. Okay, and then he puts the stethoscope, okay, on the DT, and guess what, wonders of wonders, after he puts the stethoscope on the DT, he's stunned for a moment. Okay, he will not talk anything. He just looks at the DT and stands there for 10 minutes. He will not say anything. He comes out, he sits in front of mother-in-law, and then mother-in-law was like, yeah, is he all right? What happened to him and all? That doctor is not opening his mouth only, okay, because he's shocked. And then finally doctor was like, no, he's fine now. Now he will be he has no fever now, he's fine. And then he just walks out in a hurry burry. Okay, then the daughter-in-law goes in back of the doctor and asks him what happened, why were you so stunned? And then the doctor says, you know what, when the moment I put the stethoscope on the DT, I could hear the heartbeat. I could literally hear the heartbeat. So I didn't know what to do. I was stunned there. Okay. So why am I saying all this is when you see the DT, the DT gets reciprocates to you. The moment you that's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. You worship me, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Jano Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham, Krishna says. You think of me all the time, you worship me, I will take care of you. I am there, I am a person, Krishna says in Purushottama Yoga, right? I am a living person. God means not some energy or some light or anything. He is a person like us. He is Purushottama, best of all the persons, in fact. Okay, and he reciprocates. He reciprocates. Okay, that is Krishna. Same thing happened here because he did not want Prahlad's words to become false. That's why Narasimha Dev came out from that particular pillar itself. Okay, both these incidents are real incidents. Okay, which happened very very recently, and yeah. So some people might have a question: why is it not happening to us? Our devotion is not pure enough. Okay, small scale, how much ever devotion we have toward the Lord, that level of reciprocation he gives for us. Okay, yeah, so he comes out of the pillar, and then Hiranyakashipu tries to fight the Lord. Okay, he is so gigantic, Narasimha Dev, and this small little Hiranyakashipu wants to fight the Lord. Okay, anyway, Hiranyakashipu was so fearful, he was angry, and the whole form is like that. No, he came out in the form, I mean, the Narasimha Deva's form was like that because he came in the form of Ugra Narasimha. He was not Shanta Narasimha, he was Ugra. Okay, so he kills him. He takes him on his lap. Okay, he sits, remember the boon, neither outside neither inside of the house. So he sits at the boundary of the courtyard, and then takes him on the lap, and then opens his abdomen, takes all the intestines and everything, blood vessels, everything, and he kills him. Okay, in fact he wears those intestines around his neck also. Okay, such ugra form of the Lord, as you see in the picture. Finally, Hiranyakashipu looks at the form of Narasimha Dev and then dies. Okay, and he also kills all the demoniac servants of Hiranyakashipu as well, not just Hiranyakashipu. Okay, okay. Can anybody read? Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The great saint Narada Muni continued, the demigods headed by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and other great demigods dared not come forward before the Lord, who at that time was extremely angry. Thereafter, Lord Brahma requested Prahlada Maharaja, who was standing very near him, my dear son, Lord Narasimhadeva is extremely angry at your demoniac father. Please go forward and appease the Lord. Narada Muni continued, O king, although the exalted devotee Prahlada Maharaja was only a little boy, he accepted Lord Brahma's words. He gradually proceeded towards Lord Narasimhadeva and fell down to offer his respectful obeisances with folded hands. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So after he killed, he was very angry again. Like I said, he was in the Ugra form, right? Nobody dared to go near Narasimha Dev and console him or speak to him. Even Brahma was afraid. Okay, so what did Brahma do? Brahma was like, Prahlad, you are his very he Narasimha Dev loves you so much. You are his very sweetest devotee. You are a little kid. You go and appease him. Okay, so Prahlad did not think twice. He never thought, because he was very pure at heart, he did not even think, okay, what if Narasimha Dev he was so angry, what if he harms me? Nothing like that. Okay, so he directly went. So much faith he had in the Lord. Okay, and he started going towards the Lord, and he started praying to him, and he started embracing him. Okay, he went, he fell to the lotus feet of the Lord, and then he started praising the Lord, thanking the Lord, and then he looking at all those sweet words, which was he was a pure devotee. Okay, he was very pure at heart. So looking at the purity, Krishna appreciates the purity. It's not the love, the unconditional love. It's not what you offer. Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. Right, so Krishna says bhakti. All I see is, even if you offer a drop of water, patram, pushpam, phalam or thoyam, okay, even if you offer a drop of water, it's okay. How much love you are offering it with is all I see, Krishna says. Same thing is happening with Prahlad. Okay, he's going and appeasing the Lord, and Narasimha Dev is, captivated by Prahlad's words, and Narasimha Dev goes and embraces Prahlad. Okay, and then the Ugra form now transforms to Shanta form. Now he becomes Shanta Narasimha. Okay, and see, like you see in the picture, it's so cute, right? Both of them are looking so cute, and Prahlad starts, praying to the Lord. Now, the following verses is all about Prahlad's prayers to the Lord. Okay, can everybody read? Yeah, Mansi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. When Lord Narasimha Deva saw the small boy, Prahlada Maharaja prostrated at the soles of his lotus feet. He became most ecstatic in affection toward his devotee. Raising Prahlada, the Lord placed his lotus hand upon the boy's head because his hand is always ready to create fearlessness in all of his devotees. By the touch of Lord Narasimha's Narsiha Deva's hand on Prahlada Maharaja's head, Prahlada was completely freed of all material contaminations and desires, as if he had been thoroughly cleansed. Therefore, he at once became the transcendentally situated, and all the symptoms of ecstasy became manifest in his body. His heart filled with love and his eyes with tears, and thus he was able to completely capture the lotus feet of the Lord within the core of his heart. Prahlada Maharaja fixed his mind and sight upon Lord Narasimha Deva with full attention in complete trance. With a fixed mind, he began to offer prayers in love with a faltering voice. Jai Shri Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. Yes, so Narasimha Dev places his hand on the head of Prahlad, and the Lord is all pure, right? So the moment his hand touches Prahlad, Prahlad becomes completely cleansed of all the little bit, whatever material impurity was remaining in him, that also goes away. Okay, because Prahlad is already cleansed. I mean, but whatever little bit was remaining, that also goes away the moment Narasimhadev puts his hand on his head. And then Prahlad exhibits the highest form, or the Bhava Bhakti stage, okay, where he gets goosebumps, tears starts rolling down, and he's trembling, his voice is choking, he doesn't know what to say, right? Out of love, out of all that, I mean, out of when there's too much love, these are the symptoms we automatically show, and God's love is untainted, it's unconditional, uncontaminated, right? So these are very very common in pure devotees, and Prahlad also starts exhibiting such bhava bhakti symptoms. Okay, and then he starts offering prayers to the Lord. Okay, Sri Prahlad uvacha ब्रह्मादयासुरगणा मुनयो अथ सिद्धा सात्वैकतानगतयो वचसां प्रवाहै नाराधितुं पुरुगणैरधुनापि पिप्रुः किं तोस्तम् अर्हति स मे हरिरुग्रजातेः मान्ये धनाभिजनरूपा तपा श्रुतौजा तेजा प्रभावफल पौरुषा बुद्धियोगः नराधनाय हि भवन्ति परस्यात् पुंसो भक्त्या तुतोष भगवान् गजयुतोपाय. If a brahmana has all 12 of the brahmanical qualifications, as stated in the book of Sanat Sujata, but is not a devotee and is averse to the lotus feet of the Lord, then he is certainly lower than a devotee who is a dog eater, but who has dedicated everything, mind, words, and activities, wealth and life to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee is better than such a Brahmana, because the devotee can purify his whole family, whereas the so-called Brahmana in a position of false prestige cannot purify even himself. Okay, so see how beautifully in Bhagavatam it is compared. Okay, a pure devotee and a Brahmana is compared over here. So what ultimately the conclusion is that a, a devotee is even higher than a brahmana. Okay, brahmana, even if brahmana is performing all his duties properly, okay, brahmanas, first of all, the brahmanas duty is patan padan, right? Sitting and studying all the scriptures and spreading that knowledge that he's gained from scriptures to others. That is patan padan. Okay, that is the main quality of a brahmana. Even if a brahmana is doing all the duties, but if he doesn't have any devotion towards the Lord, what is the use? What is the point, right? So in that case, a devotee who is, even if the devotee is not a brahmana, a devotee is always greater than a brahmana because a devotee is pleasing the Lord with his activities, right? Manasa vacha karmana, we have to dedicate ourselves to the Lord. Manasa, with our mind; vacha, with our words; karmana, with our activities. Okay, when we do this manasa vacha karmana, when we devote ourselves to the Lord, what happens? Our life gets a meaning. Okay, our life gets its purpose fulfilled. Okay, otherwise a brahmana is equal to a dog eater, a chandala. Okay, the main activities of a brahmana, even if he performs patan padan, yajan dhana pratigraha, right? These are the activities of a brahmana. Even if he performs his duties, if he does not have any devotion, or if he does not dedicate his activities to the Lord, then he is equal to a dog eater. Okay, but a devotee is considered a demigod. Okay, if a devotee is pure within himself, offering himself, his self to the Lord through his words, actions, wealth, life, activities, mind, everything, then he's considered, he's equal to a demigod. Okay, he's no lesser than a demigod. uh, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always fully satisfied in himself. Therefore, when something is offered to him, the offering by the Lord's mercy is for the benefit of the devotee. Okay, for the Lord does not need service from anyone. To give an example, if one's face is decorated, the reflection of one's face in the mirror is also decorated. Okay, so what is being explained here? Krishna is fully satisfied. He's called Atma Rama. Okay, he does not want anybody else to come and please him or make him happy. He's happy within himself. Okay, but he's self-satisfied, he's self-situated. All that is there. But why he still accepts offering from us? It is for our benefit. Okay, when we offer bhog to the Lord and take it as prasadam, it's not that we are offering because Lord is hungry or he's waiting for our food or anything as such. He is Atmarama. In fact, he never feels hungry. Even if he's hungry, our material food cannot satisfy his hunger. Okay, it is for us. By giving food to Krishna, we purify our karmas. Otherwise, we eat sin. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? People who eat food without offering to him, to me, verily eat sin. We eat our sins if we don't offer food to the Lord and eat. Okay, so Krishna is taking away our sins, purifying us through the bhog or through the food that we offer. So it is our own benefit. It is for our own benefit we offer food to the Lord. Okay, the example given here is very nice, right? So we decorate ourselves, and the reflection is also decorated. It's not just we ourselves are decorated, right? So like for example, it's merely, like Krishna is purifying us through our actions. We are only getting purified. Okay, it's not, we cannot, who are we are not even qualified, to say Krishna's name. In fact, it's all because of Prabhupada's mercy that we are able to chant, right? So what eligibility have we got to satisfy Krishna, right? It's for our own good that we are doing all this. Therefore, although I was born in a demoniac family, I may without a doubt offer prayers to the Lord with full endeavor, as far as my intelligence allows. Anyone who has been forced by ignorance to enter the material world may be purified of the material life if he offers prayers to the Lord and hears the Lord's glories. Okay, so in the 9 process of devotional service, at least if we follow one process, we are purified. We can go back to Godhead easily. Okay, we can cleanse ourselves from material life. Okay, if not all 9, at least one process will do. And by chanting, you're doing 2 processes simultaneously, Shravanam and Kirtanam. Because when you chant, you're doing kirtanam, and when you chant, you are also hearing the mantra you are chanting. So that way you're doing shravanam also. So you're doing simultaneously shravanam and kirtanam. That means, see how beneficial it is, right? That's why for Kali Yuga, chanting is the recommended process of devotional service. My Lord Narasimha, please therefore cease your anger now that my father, the great demon Hiranyakashipu, has been killed. Since you even saintly persons take pleasure in the killing of a scorpion or snake, all the worlds have achieved great satisfaction because of the death of this demon. Now they are confident of their happiness, and they will always remember your auspicious incarnation in order to be free from fear. Hiranyakashipu is killed. He was the greatest demon of that time. So now, until the next demon takes birth, everybody can live peacefully. Right? Now, O most powerful, insurmountable Lord, who are kind to the fallen souls, I have been put into an association of demons as a result of my activities, and therefore I am very much afraid of my condition of life within this material world. When will that moment come when you will call me to the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the ultimate goal for liberation from conditional life? See how down to earth Prahlad is, right? Devotee's quality is supposed to be meek and humble in front of the Lord. Okay, Prahlad is such a great devotee, and what is he saying? It's because of my karmas, because of my activities that I'm born into this demoniac family, he says. Okay, and now he's telling, because I'm born in a demoniac family, I'm afraid what my condition is going to be when I grow up. Will I also get carried away by the material life? Prahlad is saying, right? He's so conscious of his goals and purpose in life, right? And then Prahlad is also asking, when will you give me your lotus feet shelter so that I can become an eternal servant of you, right? So he's so responsible. This is how a devotee has to be. Okay, even in our busy lives, we have to take time, at least little time, and sit and introspect. What are we doing all that we are doing for Krishna, or are we doing it for ourselves? Okay. Oh dear Lord, now I have complete experience concerning the worldly opulence, mystic power, longevity, and other material pleasures enjoyed by all living entities, from Lord Brahma down to the ant. As powerful time, you destroy them all. Therefore, because of my experience, I do not wish to possess them. My dear Lord, I request you to place me in touch with your pure devotee and let me serve him as a sincere servant. So this here, Prahlad Maharaj is telling us what the position of a devotee is. Position of a devotee is, anybody knows what is the position of a devotee? Can we serve the Lord directly? You can put your answer in the chat also. Nobody knows? Can we serve the Lord directly? I got the answer in a chat. Yes, Hari Bol. We cannot serve the Lord directly because we are not qualified. We are so impure. All we can do is serve the devotee of the Lord. Okay, so our position is Dasa Dasanudasa. Okay, we are the servant of the Lord's servants. Okay, servant of the servant of the servant of the servant is our position. Okay, so that's why Prahlad is so pure. He has all the qualities to serve the Lord directly. Still, he says, please put me in touch with your devotee so that I can serve your devotee and reach you ultimately. Right? So that's why it's important to have a spiritual master and do devotional service to the Lord in an association of devotees. Okay, so we need to serve our spiritual master who is a devotee of the Lord, and our spiritual master will serve his spiritual master. His spiritual master will serve his spiritual master. Ultimately, it's Prabhupada, and ultimately, Prabhupada will serve his guru, his guru, his guru. Ultimately, it's Krishna. Okay, so we have no ability or any sort of qualification to serve the Lord directly. Our position is we have to serve the servant of the Lord. Oh my Lord, oh Supreme, because I was born in a family full of the hellish material qualities of passion and ignorance, what is my position? And what is to be said of your causeless mercy, which was never offered even to the Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, or the goddess of fortune Lakshmi? You never put your lotus hand upon their heads, but you have put it upon mine. See what reward Prahlad has got, right? For his pure devotion, in a sense, Lord has placed his hand over the head. He never placed his hand on Brahma, Shiva, or Lakshmi Devi, his own wife, but on Prahlad he placed, right? So, my dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of my association with material desires, one after another, I was gradually falling into a blind well full of snakes, following the general populace. But your servant Narada Muni kindly accepted me as his disciple and instructed me how to achieve this transcendental position. Therefore, my first duty is to serve him. How could I leave his service? Right? This is the way we offer gratitude to our spiritual masters. Narada Muni is the one who showed the right path and drove him towards the Lord. Right? Um Otherwise, Prahlad, when his mom delivered Prahlad, Prahlad would also become like any normal person, right? Getting contaminated by the material world. इत्तामृत्र्याग्रशिदेव जशावन् अवतैरैर् लोकान् विभावायसि हंसि जगत्प्रतीपान् धर्मां महापुरुषपासि युगानुवृत्तं चन्ना कलौ यद् अभवस्त्रियुगो अथ सत्वम्. In this way, my lord, you appear in various incarnations as a human being, an animal, a great saint, a demigod, a fish, or a tortoise. Thus, may your presence be felt by all living beings. May your presence be felt by all living beings. May your presence be felt by all living beings. May your presence be felt by all living beings. May your presence be felt by all living beings. May your presence be felt by all living beings. करयोरिव दुःखं तृप्यन्ति नेहा कृपणा बहु दुःख भाजा कन्दुतिवन् मनसिजं विषहेतधीरा. The great saint Narada said, thus Lord Narasimha was pacified by the devotee Prahlad Maharaj with prayers offered from the transcendental platform. The Lord gave up his anger, and being very kind to Prahlad, who was offering prostrated obeisances, he spoke as follows. So, Lord completely gave up his anger after listening to such innocent words of Prahlad. Okay. Oh, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Prahlad, most gentle one, best of the family of the Asuras, all good fortune unto you. I am very much pleased with you. It is my pastime to fulfill the desire of all the living beings, and therefore you may ask from me any benediction that you desire to be fulfilled. Okay, being so pleased, Narasimhadev says, you can ask me anything you want. I am ready to fulfill. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Prahlad, most gentle one, best of the family of the Asuras, all good fortune unto you. Okay. It is my pastime to fulfill the desires of all the living beings, and therefore you may ask from me whatever benediction you need that may be fulfilled. Narada Muni said, Prahlad Maharaj was the best person in the family of Asuras who always aspire for material happiness. Nonetheless, although allured by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who offered him all the benedictions for material happiness, because of his unalloyed Krishna consciousness, he did not uh, take any material benefit for sense gratification. Okay, so that is how a devotee is. Devotee never takes any material benediction. Okay, So now Prahlad said, "Oh my dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because I was born in an atheistic family, I'm naturally unattached to the material enjoyment. Therefore, kindly do not tempt me with all these illusions. I'm very much afraid of material conditions, and I desire to be liberated from materialistic life. It is for this reason that I have taken shelter of your lotus feet." He, he wants to get liberated from the material life. Okay. And oh my worshipable Lord, because the seed of lusty desires, which is the root cause of all material existence, is within the core of everyone's heart, you have sent me to this material world to exhibit the symptoms of pure devotee. So Prahlad is a role model. Okay, he teaches everybody what a devotee's qualities must be, how devotion must be shown towards the Lord. Okay, and see how nicely Prahlad is saying, because the lust is there in everybody's heart. Okay, people are getting carried away. Okay, but Prahlad, through Prahlad's pastimes, we are understanding what a devotee must do, right, to please the Lord. Uh, Oh my Lord, I am your unmotivated servant, and you are my eternal master. There is no need of our being anything other than master and servant. You are naturally my master, and I am naturally your servant. We have no other relationship. O my Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires. See what a powerful benediction Prahlad is asking. He's saying, Lord, if you ever want to give me any benediction, then please, eradicate all the material desires from the core of my heart. Okay, I want to be pure devotee all my life. That's what Prahlad is asking. One who always remembers your activities and my activities also, and who chants the prayers you have offered, becomes free in your course of time from the reactions of material activities. Prahlad said, O Supreme Lord, because you are so merciful to the fallen souls, I ask you for only one benediction. I know that my father at the time of his death has already been purified by your glance upon him, but because of his ignorance of your beautiful power and supremacy, he was unnecessarily angry at you, falsely thinking that you were the killer of his brother. Thus, he directly blasphemed your lordship, the spiritual master of all living beings, and committed heavily sinful activities directed against me, your devotee. I wish that he be excused of all these sinful activities. Right? So Prahlad is so small, and he still is saying, my father has committed all the bad activities, but please forgive him of all the because he's done it out of his ignorance. Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Prahlad, O most pure, O great saintly person, your father has been purified along with 21 forefathers in your family. Because you were born in the family, in this family, the entire dynasty has been purified. So see the reward Narasimha Dev is giving, right? 21 forefathers in your family are also delivered, purified. Okay, if one person becomes a devotee in a family, okay, even if it is a child, okay, that devotee has the power to help the entire family, entire dynasty, 21 generations to attain Krishna Bhakti, become purified, become liberated. Okay, so devotion has lot of value. Okay, it's inconceivably powerful. We have to have faith in it. Okay, whenever and wherever there are peaceful equipoised devotees who are all well behaved and decorated with all good qualities, the place and the dynasty is there, even if condemned, are purified. Those who follow your example will naturally become my pure devotees. You are the best example of my devotee, and others should follow in your footsteps. My dear child, your father has already been purified just by the touch of my body at the time of his death. Nonetheless, the duty of a son is to perform the Shraddha ritualistic ceremony after the father's death, so that his father may be promoted to the planetary system where he may become a good citizen and devotee. After performing the ritualistic ceremony, take charge of your father's kingdom, sit upon the throne, and please do not be disturbed by materialistic activities. Please keep your mind fixed upon me. Without transgressing the injunctions of the Vedas, as a matter of formality, you may perform your particular duties. Right? So, Narasimha Dev is giving him instructions. You become the king. Okay? Perform all the Shraddha activities, then become the king. And, without material contamination, with devotion towards me, keep me in the center of your mind and rule. That's what Narasimha Dev is instructing. So we also have to live our life like that only. Keeping Krishna in the center of our life and mind, we have to work. His work was to rule. Our work is to work, right? Whatever work we are doing. So we have to keep Krishna in the center and live our life. Okay? Doing everything for Krishna, even earning. You get lot of money, dedicated, devoted for Krishna's service. Okay? The personality of God had replied, "My dear Lord Brahma, oh great Lord, from born from the lotus flower, just as it is dangerous to feed milk to a snake, so it is dangerous to give benedictions to demons, who are by nature ferocious and jealous. I warn you not to give such benedictions to any demon again." Okay, so Narasimhadev is warning Brahma, don't give benedictions to demons. If you give benedictions to demons, then the Lord has so many other things, right? Kill the demons, correct? That's why. And see, Krishna says it's equally dangerous, like how milk for snake. Snake is poisonous by nature. Snake kills person who has fed milk, right? Same way demons are. Prahlad Maharaj was the best among exalted devotees. Anyone with great attention who hears this narration concerning the activities of Prahlad Maharaj, the killing of Hiranyakashipu, and the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narasimha Dev, surely reaches a spiritual world where there is no anxiety. Okay, so seventh canto of Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj and Narasimha Dev's pastimes, they are beautiful. They are my favorite canto. Okay, so this gives us instant inspiration. Okay, if we are demotivated in our devotional journey, or anytime you feel okay, I'm not getting that pure love for Krishna to while chanting or anything as such, read seventh canto, read at least the summary, okay, or just hear Narasimha Deva's pastimes. Okay, it gives you instant inspiration. It's the most powerful canto, my favorite canto, seventh canto. Okay, I would suggest all of you to read this over and over again, again and again. Okay, yeah. So that was the Narasimha Dev's pastimes. Okay, yeah. Any questions? Any doubts? Yes, Prabhuji. You can unmute.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, you can stop the recording, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, tell me, what's your question?
What is the difference between Smaranam and Vishnu Smaranam?